Look, I absolutely love Pokemon. I have been a fan of Pokemon since I was a little fucking kid. I was the little kid in first grade who would walk around with the Pokemon Pokedex book, reading that shit unironically. Me and my friends would spend literally all fucking day talking about Pokemon. I've grown up with these games. I've been playing them since the Game Boy. I have gone through every Pokemon canon event that you can think of. You know, hiding your DS under your pillow on a school night, hoping your mom doesn't hear it when she checks if you're sleeping or not. Over-leveling the hell out of your starter and forgetting to build your own team. So once your starter dies, you're pretty much gonna lose. Or building the most generic Sinnoh team of all time. My point being that I grew up with these games. I absolutely love them. I mean, if you watch my best of 2025 video, you will see that I put 2 Pokemon ROM hacks on there. And the footage you're seeing now is me literally playing ROM hacks that I've been playing for the past month or so. There was even a moment in time where I was sweating my ass off on Showdown. But I don't think though it should come as a surprise to literally anyone that Game Freak doesn't care anymore.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care.
It has become very obvious that Game Freak does not care about Pokemon anymore. I mean, look at the last game they made, Legend ZA, that had pre-launch DLC, by the way. This looks cheap. Look at it. This looks cheap. How are you going to make somebody pay all this money for a game that has one city where you can't even enter the buildings? The graphics are absolute dog shit. I'm not a huge graphics person. I don't think graphics make or break a game. But come on. You have to try a little harder than this. I know you can do it. If Breath of the Wild could look good on the Wii U, there is no reason why Game Freak, a multi-million-dollar company, can't find a way to make this look good. You also have a battle system which doesn't look all that fun if I'm being honest. And from what I've heard, it's really not that good and gets old pretty quick. Look at Scarlet and Violet, and this is coming from somebody who reviewed Scarlet and Violet, and I'm pretty sure I gave it a decent score. But look at it. It looks lazy. Like, yeah, it's fun because it's a Pokemon game, but there is so much that can be done to this. Pokemon is literally one of, if not the most successful and lucrative IPs on Earth. Pokemon is one of those franchises that all the corporate overlords who don't give a fuck about this shit want their product to be in. It is in that bubble of being too big to fail. No matter what Pokemon does, how lazy they make their games, if they are able to just appeal to people's nostalgia, they will sell games. They will always make a profit. And it has become very clear that is what they've been doing at Game Freak. Game Freak has pretty much got themselves an infinite money glitch. They can release Pokemon every single year, or maybe every other year, every few years or whatever, while putting no effort into the game whatsoever, each game becoming more and more lazy than the other. The only thing that's changing about them is their price. They are becoming more expensive to play, but the quality of them isn't changing at all. You could argue it's getting worse, but I'd argue they're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. They have lost all the passion, the care, the soul that this franchise used to have. If you ask me, I think Pokemon probably peaked at Black and White 2. That was the last time they really tried. Now, I know there's the Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, which I think those are decent remakes. Honestly, I do. But Black and White 2 was the last time they really tried. I know I played Legends Arceus, and I gave them credit for trying something new. But Legends Arceus didn't do that well. It was very clear that Game Freak wanted their Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon edition, and they didn't get it. A big reason for that is because they got lazy. You can see in Legends Arceus where they cut corners and how much can be done in a game like that. Deep down, I think Game Freak hates the fact that they have to make Pokemon. And I feel like this is incredibly apparent if you just look at the overall quality of the games that they have been releasing. Not just the graphics, because these games have gotten worse than simply just the graphics being bad. Sword and Shield are completely unplayable for me. I cannot play those games. It is actually amazing, genuinely, how lazy that game is. There was an adventure to Pokemon. I mean, it's literally called your Pokemon Adventure. They say it in every game at the very start that you go on an adventure. There is a little bit of exploration in these games. Yeah, it's not crazy, it's not some giant open world, but you at least had to figure out where to go, what to do, and you could get stuck, quote unquote, if you didn't know who to talk to or where to go. Sword and Shield is a literal straight line. There is no getting lost, there is no exploration, there's no other route that you can go. You just walk in a straight line and occasionally turn left or right. That is it. The battles have gotten easier. I mean, there is no challenge in Scarlet and Violet whatsoever. There is like maybe one challenging battle, and I put challenge in quotes here, but one slightly difficult battle in Scarlet and Violet. A literal toddler could beat that game. The animations are terrible. I think switching to 3D was honestly one of the worst things they could have done if they just wanted to milk a series. At least with pixel art, you can draw it and like just slightly animate it to make it look cool. But with trying to go like the 3D route, now you actually have to like fully animate a cool design. And that is far too much work for Game Freak. They are not going to do that. So now all these new animations that could look cool, that have some potential, end up looking like garbage. Like, come on, really? This is an animation in a $70 game, by the way. Another sad thing is that megas, I think, have been ruined. I thought megas were a cool idea. I think it was a cool, unique idea for specific Pokemon. But sadly, because people like megas, I think they've just been turned into like a cash grab opportunity. Look at Legends ZA. They are selling you megas. That is like that's literally what the DLC is. It's just adding a bunch of mega Pokemon that you have to pay for, by the way. Megas used to be cool. They used to be unique. It's like Battle Bond Greninja. Everyone loves Battle Bond Greninja. But imagine if every Pokemon had Battle Bond. Would that make Greninja cool? No. That's pretty much what they've done with megas. Every Pokemon has a mega now, even Pokemon that nobody cared if they had a mega or not. Sadly, they had a cool idea that at one point was a unique mechanic for specific Pokemon, but now they've just used it as a cash grab. Don't even get me started on the new fucking designs. I mean, just look at this shit, man. Really? Really? This is a Pokemon right here. This is a dead plant. Why is a like, really? You were going to release a game that people would pay for, and this is one of the unique Pokemon in it? Really? A tumbleweed. That's the best you can do. Or look at Spidops. Dude, this is literally just a bunch of cylinders. Like, this is such a lazy design. Look at it. Impidem, or whatever the fuck his name is. This is a literal Dragon Quest character. You wanna know what the craziest part is? All this bitching and complaining that I've been doing could have been avoided. I used to believe that Game Freak just didn't have the time or the skill, and that the Switch is such a piece of dog shit that they physically just could not make it into the game. They couldn't make a good looking Pokemon game. But with their new game that's coming out, I see that that was all a lie. They have the ability. They have the talent. They have the time. They could have done this with Pokemon. They have made a legit AAA game. Again, look at the game on screen right now. This was made by the people who made this. It was always possible. They could have done it. They just chose not to. They know that people will buy Pokemon no matter what. They put no effort into it. They don't want to make it anymore. They clearly want to make other things. And I understand that they are not tied down to simply just Pokemon. I'm not doom posting. I'm not hating on this new game that's coming out. I will probably try it and review it. What I am saying is that they always had the ability to make a good Pokemon game. The fans have been telling Game Freak for years what they want, how to make a good Pokemon game, and they clearly have the talent and the ability to do it. They've just chosen not to. But there is a chance that we could save Pokemon. Do I think it's gonna work? No. But there is hope that it might work. Pokemon is in that weird spot where the community cares more about it than the people making it, and nothing shows that better than ROM hacks. ROM hacks are objectively the best way to play these games. I think overall they are just better. They are more fun to play than anything Game Freak has released since 2014, which is saying something. These games are made by 1 to maybe 10 people. These are not big projects. They also don't have a fraction of the budget that Game Freak has. Yet somehow, some way, they are able to make a better product. There is more love, care, passion, an attempt to make a whole game something fun. Plus, the overall variety of games that you have is insane. There is Dark Souls Pokemon games. There is roguelike Pokemon games. They have a game for you, no matter how autistic you want to get with these Pokemon games. There is a game out there for you. If you just want to replay through like some of your older favorite games, just with harder gym leaders and like quality of life changes, those games exist. If you want a game in a new region with new Pokemon, those games exist. If you want a game with a whole new story, something unique, an open world Pokemon game, those exist. The perfect Pokemon game is out there for you. And you wanna know what the fucking craziest part about it is? These games are free. You don't have to pay a single dollar for them. And they are incredibly easy to set up. I do not want to hear anything about how you can't play these. You can emulate video games on your phone. You can emulate Game Boy and DS games on your phone. You can play these games on anything. You don't need a good computer to play them. You can play these on some old ass computer and they will still run. Everyone can play a ROM hack. Why you would pay to play a worse product doesn't make any sense to me. So how are we going to save it? Well, step one, and this is a very important step right here. You gotta stop buying it. I know, it's a crazy idea, but hear me out. Game Freak and Nintendo clearly view Pokemon as just a cash grab. I feel like that is beyond obvious. If people stop buying Pokemon, they are going to lose money. You know, maybe they try a little harder since their cash cow ain't making money. Step 2 would be to support the community and the people making ROM hacks. It is literally as simple as just playing them and spreading the word. If more people play ROM hacks, which are free and better, I feel like that is a win and would only make ROM hacks get better over time. And again, all you have to do to support these people is to just play the damn game. Step 3, hope for the fucking best. Pray to God that the normies can figure out how to set up an emulator and they stop buying Pokemon. Even though that's going to be really hard for them. I know Pokemon has some of the consumers, like the massive like soy boy consumers who have to buy every single Pokemon game. But maybe, just maybe, they can figure out how an emulator works. So go out there, play the fucking ROM hacks, and don't ever look back. Don't even look at Game Freak's direction until they give a fuck. Until they truly try